Morning, everyone. I'm just using my phone because I want to just give you a few details about the full moon. We're going to have that as a theme, and the other thing we're going to make sure that we do moving into the new year is to have all our energies moving in the right direction and balanced. We're going to do the element wheel at some point, and we'll also do the element flow. But just to let you know that this is a cold moon, they call it, and it's the last one of 2020. So we've had a busy year. We've had a meteor shower, a solar eclipse, and that great conjunction on the 21st of December. So it's a moon in Cancer, and it's going to be quite emotional. Well, I think we've already sort of been partly through that. And also it'll be a huge release for us. And it's what we need before we go into 2021. I think that will do as far as that goes. So what I'd like to start with is a hand position from Kundalini Yoga, and it's one to build strong nerves, because I think going into the new year is going to be another time for us to just work with our breath and stay present and know that there will be better things ahead. We know that nothing ever stays the same. So if we come to seated so that you're either on or off the front of your block, I don't mind if you're on your mat, whatever's good for your hips. And then just close the eyes and bring the backs of the hands onto the legs. And let's just check in with ourselves after the festivities. Let's lengthen that spine and just roll the shoulders back just 3 times, just to see how creaky they are feeling. And just note that effect. And then drop the shoulders towards the waist and relaxing the arms. And let's go inwards to our breath, which we may not have noted for a few days as we've been busy with Christmas. And immediately bring the breath into the belly, so you can start to find release in that tight area. So we're going to bring the left hand into something called a Ravi Mudra. And we're going to have the thumb and the ring finger touching. The right hand, the thumb, and the little finger touches. So we now know with the work we do, these are connected to meridians. Bring the right hand into your lap and tucking the left elbow in, bring the other elbow bent so that the hand is sort of in line with your shoulder or your neck on your left side. So this is going to balance those meridians that will strengthen our nerves. So the breath becomes long. And as we lengthen into the breath, feel into the connection of the fingertips. You can almost feel as though you're breathing in and out of those spaces. So on your next in-breath, bring both arms above the head, widen the fingers. Flick them several times and just breathe while you're here. You can flick or shake. I like to flick. And bring the hands back down, opening the eyes. Come straight into our tapping. So I'll wake up underneath the collarbones, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Up and down the sternum. We just want to make sure everything's moving in the right direction as we head into the new year. You know, different food, different drink, different bedtimes, all these things have an impact on our energies underneath the arms. I never feel quite the same when I'm eating heavier food, you know. Dampens down my energy underneath the eyes. Just like giving ourselves a bit of a new on switch. So shake that off. Take one hand, opposite shoulder, squeeze and smooth and flick across. Let's go. You know this. Setting us up for that new year. Okay, hands in front of the pubic bone. Let us definitely give ourselves a sentence or a word as we head forward, okay? Sometimes just maybe one word. So drawing up, zipping it up, touch above the top lip. And then letting that word or the sentence float into your field. 2 more. And let's definitely hook that up. Hold that in. 3 breaths, middle fingers. Lovely long breaths. Okay, shake any excess off. Let us come off that block. Let us come round onto all fours. 3 cat-cows. We need to warm this body up. On your in-breath, drop the belly, lift the chest, look up. On your out-breath, tuck the belly round the chin, round the back, tuck the chin. Off you go. Feel it in your spine. Feel the body beginning to open up again. At the end, bring the hands further forward. Drop to your heels. And now on an in-breath, big round of the spine. Then a lift of the chest, looking up, tuck the belly. The out-breath all the way back. Let's tune into that breath once more. Let's do 3. Stretch out the mince pies. When you're finished, tuck the toes, find your way to your downward facing dog. Adjust your hands where needed, keep the knees bent, lengthen the spine, tailbone back. Grip that mat with your fingers. Make sure your wrist is not doing the work. One heel into your mat. Oh, let's get those legs stretched out. Gosh, mine are tight. And off we go the other side. A few more. I'm just going to check if anyone needs to come into the space. No, we're all good. Keep going. When you're ready, both heels down, tailbone up. Tuck the belly, take it towards the thighs. Just feel in, get the body alive again. Up onto the toes. And take the feet and turn them to the left. Everything over to the left. Stretch out the right side body. Come back onto those toes and then switch to the other side. Leaning to the right, stretch the left side. Let's do one more round. Coming back up and over to the left. Onto the toes and over to the right. Onto the toes, heels down. Maybe that feels a bit freer. From here, straight legs, walk the feet to the wrists. Just waddle your way there. Bend the knees and do a hang. Release that head. And you can shake it from side to side, up and down. A few yeses and a few nos. Mind that neck. Makes you feel dizzy, then don't do this one. Right, we've got the knees bent. Let's take the hands behind our back, interlace those fingers, roll the shoulder blades together and just see if the arms will move over the head in any way at all. Just be gentle. This is a warm up. So don't go too deep, but keep the knees bent. You'll get more movement through your shoulders then. Let's release those arms, dangle them. And on an in-breath, let's stack the spine, come all the way up. Head lifts last. Super. So feet together. We're going to go through the moon salutation. I love that. This whenever there's a full moon, we have to be really gentle with those energies, especially as we go into the new year. So it might be a nice idea to have your mat this way around, because remember, we come outwards and we also come into a triangle. Entirely up to you. Just giving you that option straight off the bat. Okay. So the feet are together. We interlace the fingers, but we keep the first fingers into a point. We're going to tuck in our belly, tailbone down. And on our next in-breath, we're going to bring the arms above the head. This is where we start our side stretches. So we go over to one side on the out-breath. The in-breath brings us back, keep the belly tucked. That way you won't overstretch, and then over to the other side. So we're sliding down that wall again. We're going to do 3 of these. Try not to push the hips out if you can. Get more of a stretch through your upper body. Last set. From here, we're going to come out into a lion breath. So firstly, bring the foot out, whichever one you want, doesn't really matter. So this first round, we're going to do 3 just to get us in the zone, but we may well do less as we go through. Okay, so taking a breath in. Down we come. Oh, that felt nice. Up we come. So we're going to come into a triangle. You're going to turn towards the front of your mat with the front toes, back toes in, arms out to shoulder height. Take an in breath here, out breath, over the ribs, down we go. Follow that wall again. If you want to add in that point on the inside of the shin, then please do. So take in this triangle. We're going to go through the first round quite slowly. I want you to feel in, and you're still warming up the body. On your next out breath, the top arm is going to come down, and we're going to do a forward bend. So this top hip is going to come round. You're going to face towards the front of your mat, and then you're going to drop in. You might want to bring the back leg round a little bit more, entirely up to you. Try and have both legs straight if you wish. If the fingers don't touch the floor, you can always bring the hands into the small of your back, especially if you're here, that might be more comfortable. Try and square up those hips. So take your front leg, take that hip backwards, and the back hip comes forward, if you like. From here, come onto that back knee. So come onto the toes, and then all the weight comes forward. So just shift the weight forward. So you're taking the chest and the crown of the head forward. Three breaths here. Now come into the side lunge. So the hands come towards the long edge of your mat, and the front leg is the bent leg. The back foot, turn the toes upwards so you can get stretched through the back of that leg. If you want to come all the way up, whoops, good Lord, you can. As you can see, I haven't done too much yoga over Christmas. Let's go to the other side. So keep your bottom nice and low. Mind the knees. Turn the toes upwards so you can get stretched through that leg. Off we go again. No rush. Turn the toes up. Once more, we're going to come to the other side. Turn those toes up. Then from here, you're going to turn to the back of your mat. And then that weight comes forward again. So the back toes are tucked under, shoulders are soft, lead from the chest and the crown of your head. Lovely stretch out through the hips. We may have been seated quite a bit, so get those muscles stretching again. So work your way into your triangle now. So the back heel comes to the floor, and then just unravel into your triangle. Again, you can come to those meridians with the thumb inside of that shin if you fancy. Feel nice and open through that chest. So the next one is going to be that lion's breath. So on your in breath, come all the way up. Turn the toes so you've got them in the right place, and we're going to do 3. So your out breath is perfect. Really feel as though you're letting go of 2020. Next time you bring those hands up, see if you can bring a foot in and come together. Interlace those fingers. First fingers point out, and off we go again. We'll have an in-breath here, and then an out-breath to come back into our side. Get that belly tucked in. Off we go. We're going to do 3. Now feeling we can go a little bit further over. Give all those organs a nice stretch out. Last side. Let's do one lion breath this time. So we come straight out and then down we go. Now we go straight into our triangle. So the front of the mat this time. In breath here, out breath coming down. Thumb into that meridian line if you wish. But we are going to hold this. 3 breaths. Ujjayi breath. I try and judge the breath, but obviously we all breathe slightly differently, so I will do my best. So the top arm now comes down, this back hip swings around into that forward bend. Both legs are straight if that's a possibility. If you want to hold on to the leg, you can. Three breaths again. Feel where the breath wants to breathe. Take your breath there. Feel really expansive through your torso. Into our side lunge. No, we're not. We're going forward. Sorry. Bring all that weight forward. Chest, crown of the head. Might bring my foot forward a little bit, actually. It's better. Back knee on the floor, if you wish. Now let's turn those fingers to a long edge of our mat, walk them round, off we go. Into that side lunge. Feel it first, bring the toes up. Keep your bottom nice and low as we come across, mind those knees up, we come with the toes. Lovely stretch out. And when you're ready, let's come across again. We can do this. We can do this. We'll be more ready than the others for 2021. Okay, once we're there, let's turn ourselves into that lunge. You can stay up in a high lunge if you want. You can come onto the knee, that back knee, entirely up to you. Keep the shoulders soft. Keep the breath moving. All right, let's bring those feet into that position for that triangle. Place the hand up we go. Open the chest. Use that thumb if you wish into a position. Next in-breath, all the way up. Bring the arms above the head. Ready for your lion breath. Bring the toes around and let's go down. Next in-breath, let's bring those feet together. Interlace the fingers. In for 3 of our side stretches. I'm sure they're feeling completely different now. So let's do one more full round of this moon salutation. So off we go, ready for our lion breath. In breath here. Bring the arms up to shoulder height, ready for our triangle. Get those toes in the right position. In breath and our out breath, down we slide. thumb to that meridian point. Sometimes it's nice to repeat things a little bit more so you can see how much the body opens up from the first time you do it to the third time you do it. Maybe even see if you can go a little bit further down, whatever you fancy. So into that forward bend. So bring this hip round with you. Maybe the back foot. Tailbone upward. Stretch through that front leg. Three breaths. See where the breath wants to breathe. This one's a lovely one for the back, ribs. So onto the back knee, weight forward, everything forward, stretch out through that hip. Into our side lunge, walk the hands around, back toes lift up. Does that leg feel completely different? If you want to come up with the hands, you can. On an in-breath, come across. Keep the bottom nice and low. And then find those toes again and stretch through. When you're ready, off we go. And the last one. From here, let's turn to that hip stretch, maybe taking the front, what is now the front foot out a little bit. Off we go. Three breaths. This one's quite nice. Bring the breath into the belly. I can just feel that there. Bit of a massage because there's a bit of restriction on one side. So let's come on to the forward bend on this side. Rearrange that back foot and in we come. Square up the hip, straight leg. Find your way into your triangle. Gradually open that front body up. Feel as though you're between two panes of glass. That's how open that body wants to be feeling. Lovely practice for Ujjayi breath. Let us take our own control back. Even if we've got no control of what's happening anywhere else. Okay, so tucking in that belly and an in-breath coming up. Turn those toes, ready for your lion breath on the out-breath. Your next in-breath, interlace the fingers, bring the foot back to meet the other one. Last three, side bends, just when you're ready in your own time with your own breath. An out-breath is nice when you come over to the side. Working naturally with the lungs. And when you're finished, bring the hands to the heart, close the eyes, just check in. In the usual places in your mind, in your body, and in your breath. So opening the eyes, just bring the feet hip width apart, about 5 Celtic weaves, just to hold in all that work. If you feel there's another reason for using your weaves today, then bring that into your field and just explain to yourself why you want to have these weaves in this manner. Final one. Hands back in the prayer position. Let's go to the front of your mat with the feet hip width apart. You might already be there. On your in-breath, take the arms up, look up, stretch. Celtic weave. Come into a forward bend, a full one this time. The legs should be ready. In-breath, half forward bend, hands behind the knees, lift the chest. On your out-breath, let's try a plank. See if we've got it in us. Right leg leads. Let's go back. Tuck the belly. Feel the strength returning to the body after a few days off. Get everything switched on again. So, knees to the floor, keep the toes tucked. Let's come back into a child's pose with the toes tucked. Wherever you want your hands to be. And bring the breath into the spine. Just take your breath to the spine, to the ribs, to the back. Really feel the back body expanding out again. Just return to all fours. Knees to the long edge of your mat, switch around, bring the legs around, come down onto your back. Spleen triple warmer hold and your bandhas. So from here, we're going to do your Starfish Connection. I'm going to set up in a moment, but bring your legs into a comfortable position. You can have them out straight. I find the belly is softer if you have the knees bent. You can take the feet out and drop the thighs in. You can even do it in a butterfly. You decide. So the 5-element wheel is bringing together all the organs, the elements, the seasons, everything. So everything is aligning up ready for next year. So bring your fingers into points. Take both hands to the inside of your right hip. Starting here in the winter, which is where we are right now. And then you're going to massage in a straight line up to just underneath the sternum. So you're going to dig in, you're going to circle, and you're going to welcome in if there's any painful bits. Don't shy away from them, go nice and deep. And draw a straight line as you massage up just underneath the sternum. Once you're there, you're going to do the same with the other hand. It's just a straight line. Push in and circle. Some bits might feel nice, squidgy and nice. Some might feel a little bit tense, but that's okay. Once both hands are up there, you're going to come down, massaging in a straight line towards the left hip, inside of the left hip. Let's get this body waking up again. When you're down there with one hand, then you're going to go down with the other. Dig in, massage round, straight line. So we went up to the summer energy, and now we've come down to the autumn energy. From here, we massage in a straight line up to the right ribs. So underneath your chest to the right ribs. Obviously, I'm mirroring you in case you need to look. Once you're there, you're going to massage with the other one. Doesn't need to take a huge amount of time. If anyone wants me to send the sheet over to them, I can email it out. Once you're there, you're just going to come straight across to the other ribs. You know, just the hand just draws itself straight across. Massage there. So this is another sort of spleen point, isn't it? And then you're going to come down and end up once more on that right, inside of that right hip, straight line. So we had the earth energy on that right rib, and we had the spring energy on that left rib. And now we're coming back down, and now do the other hand back to that winter. So what we've done is we've connected all of the elements. And when you're finished, just shake your fingers up. Bring the feet to hip width apart, close to your heels. 3 half bridges. I just want you to stretch this whole area out. Arms down beside your body. Off you go. Make these your own. If you want to come up onto the toes, if you don't want to use the arms, don't use them. But I just want you to feel as though you've just had a stretch out through that part of the body. Right, now we've got the Neurolymphatic reflex point. So we're now clearing out the lymph system, which again, if we've been eating different food and drink, things like that, it's a really, really good idea. So we're going to start on the outside of the upper arms. So you can give yourselves a hug to do this. I'm just going to sit up again. Have your legs in a comfy position. And we're just going to massage up and down. We're not going to stay here long. And then inside of the shoulder, where you sort of have a tank top sort of come, or just outside that bra strap, if you like. Both sides. And then just in from that above the collarbones, just massage around there. We've got the stomach and the heart reflex points on the outside of the arm and the inside with the kidneys. And then we come up and down the sternum. So just sort of where all the ribs connect. So just get those fingers in between the ribs and just go up and down there. We've got kidneys again here. We've got the lung, got the gallbladder. Just up and down. And then the next one is actually the nipples, a circulation sex. I just bring the palms of my hands, stick them on my boobs and just have a good rummage, move around. Don't do it if you don't feel like it. And then underneath from there, again, is that spleen point. So straight down in a straight line from the nipples onto those ribs where we were for the starfish connection. That's your spleen. So that correlates because it's normally under the arms. It just comes around in a straight line. And then where your belly button is, come out about an inch either side. Massage in there. That's your triple warmer, the cortisol. Now you're going to come straight up about an inch. That's your bladder. Give that a good massage. And up 1 more inch. Again, we're back to the kidneys. And in fact, it's easier for you because you're lying down. Right, we're going to come straight to the valves. So we've got the iliocecal valve on the right side, Houston valve on the left side, and that's just inside the hips. Okay, where it sort of feels a little bit squidgy. So just up and down there, to just help these valves out. And then the last couple, we can do one leg at a time, large and small intestines, if you remember, outside and inside of the thighs. Off you go, pick the leg up, roll over, sit up, whatever you need to do. Just get that happening. In fact, it's interesting. Just doing this is making me thirsty. And the other leg. So it's definitely shifting stuff. All right, so this time, just do a few figure of eights all over your body. Just holding all that work in. Okay, a couple of back rolls. So hands behind the thighs, off we go. Just a back roll, don't do anything funky unless you really fancy it. Next time, cross the shins, hold the big toes, tuck the heels under. Back onto all fours. I'm going to turn. From here, we're going to come onto the toes, push back into a squat. Find your block if you want it. We're going to go through our 5-element flow where we make all the sounds. I'm not going to explain them. You know what we're doing. So hands behind, no, block behind your heels. If you fancy, it just makes it easier. Hold on to those knees. Blowing out the candle. Are we ready? I can see you already. Yep. Okay. So let us release all the fear. So on your in-breath, bring your head up. Blow out the candle. I'm going to do 3. Last one. Remove the block. Dangling into a forward bend. Expelling the venom, releasing the anger. Let's pick up all the anger from our body. Using the floor as blades of grass. And the sound for this one is a shh. So on your in-breath, bring the arms all the way up. Let's throw it all the way. Let's get rid of the anger as we come down. Shh. Let's go for 3 of these. Pick up all the anger. All the 2020 anger, let's let that go. Find some peace for the next year. In-breath coming up. And the third one. Picking it all up. In-breath coming up. Trace up the spleen outside of the big toes, ankle inside the lower legs to the knees, coming up center line of the body, rounding at the shoulders, finishing up in the spleen point. Okay, bringing down the flame. The sound is, this is the one where we use our thumbs, so hands into the prayer position. Releasing the anxiety on this one, so on your in-breath. Arms out, crown of the head. In-breath. Heart. Release the anxiety. In-breath. Thumbs to navel. Palms over the belly, 3 breaths. Let it go. Last out breath, down the legs, flick off the toes. Draw up the spleen again. Come all the way up. You know this. Next one, Ujjayi breath. Give yourselves a hug. Spleen. Triple warmer. Close the eyes if you wish. Cradling the baby. Come into that Ujjayi breath. self-compassion. Maybe that's your intention for next year, self-compassion. With our new calendars we've got for our self-love, self-compassion weaves wonderfully into all of that. So the last one is human touch and divine. The sound is a S. This is where we make the ball shape. But on your in-breath now, bring both arms above the head and pull in what you need. And then on the out-breath, let's just drop all the way down to the floor and draw up the spleen again. That spleen meridian, ending up under the arms. Bring the hands back in the prayer position. Get ready for human touching divine. So on your in-breath, arms out. Maybe arch. Out-breath, hands in front of the belly. Releasing all the grief. In-breath, arms to shoulder height. Just release the grief, hands to heart. In-breath, arms up. Hands, crown of the head. Finish with the hands crossing at the heart. 3 breaths here. Any kind of grief, let it go. Close the eyes when you're finished. To lean into the thoughts in the mind, the breath and the sensations in the body. Opening the eyes. On the in-breath, take the arms up, out, look up, stretch up. Celtic wave, forward bend. In-breath, half forward bend. Plank with the left leg lead. And hold. Releasing all the emotions of 2020. Be able to start again for the new year. Onto the knees. Elbows onto the floor. Head into the palms of the hands. Thumbs outside of the eyes. Pads of the hands on the stomach meridian, fingers over the front of the head. Drop the head into the hands. Soft belly, ujjayi breath. Drop the jaw. Soften the shoulders. Slowly releasing back onto your hands and all fours. Walk the knees to the long edge. Let's come back down onto our backs. Spleen triple warm abundance. Down we go. Walk the heels in towards the bottom. Release the arms. Bring the left leg over the right. Bring the right arm above the head and take these legs over to the left into a lovely big stretch. Stretch the right arm above the head if that feels okay. Breathe into the whole of the torso. Let it soften, let it stretch. Bring those legs back, release the arm. And relax the whole body. Just going to do 2. Legs to the left. Stretch that right arm. Breathe into the stretch. Bring the legs back, soften the arm and relax the body. Now let's switch the legs, switch the arm. And take the legs over to the right. Stretch the left arm, breathe into the body. Into that stretch. Bring the legs back, soften the arm. Relax your body. Legs to the right, stretch that left arm. Last one. Bring the legs back. Relax that arm. Relax the body. So unravel those legs and draw the left knee in and give it a hug. Take the right leg out straight, point the toes. Really hug the left leg. Really stretch the right. Breath into the belly. Remember your lungs detox as well. On the out breath, you're just releasing stale air. We could say stale emotions. So soften the legs and bring that right knee in, ready for its hug. And then slowly take that left leg out. And now give the right leg a hug and stretch the left leg. Okay, so now release that right leg. Stretch and move in any way you wish. Find your way into Shavasana. So finding that comfortable place. Beginning to feel the breath relax, soften, slow down. Be aware of all your points of contact with the floor. As each out breath leaves the body, feel your physical body becoming heavier and heavier, connecting more deeply with those points of contact. Feel them widening out, becoming bigger on each out breath. The whole body softening. And on your next 3 exhales, I'd like you to say on the out breath, I feel safe and relaxed now. I feel safe and relaxed now. On your next 3 slow exhales. So working with this energy of the full moon. Imagine now or feel or both a clear full moon. And this clear full moon is appearing just above your head. The moon is shining brightly, cheerfully. And it's sending out gentle, lustrous rays in every direction. So feel yourself basking in this loving embrace of the full moon. Visualize the brilliant moonlight showering all over you and within you. Open up all the pores of your skin to receive the moon's positive energies. Feel every cell in your body rejoicing and rejuvenating in this healing light. Let the dazzling white light penetrate all your darkness. Feel your stress dissolving. Feel your anxieties dissolving. Feeling your worries and fears dissolving. and in its place, leaving you with a deep sense of peace. A deep sense of harmony. A deep sense of calm. Rest here in this tranquil state. So now give thanks to the moon for its generosity. And then allow the visualization to gently fade away. And let the peaceful feeling infuse your activities for the rest of your day. So come back now to your breath as we lengthen into the breath. Feel the parts of our body connected to the floor once again. Bring movement into the body as we wish to gently reawaken. Bending your knees and rolling onto your right side, hands under the head for a pillow. So using the full moon energy to bring more positivity into our life and to dissolve the tension, the anxiety, the worries and the fears. So pushing up to seated, hands in the prayer position at the heart. I think it would be nice to finish a year with 3 OMs. So taking a breath in. Namaste. opening your eyes when you're ready.